There was a mermaid living in a huge palace under the seas. This mermaid, sailors, and some fish around a palace was playing on his own. In this colorful palace, the mermaid was very happy because everything was peaceful. The mermaid also had a lot of fish friends. A lot of small, flat, or a lot of fish lived in the palace. Sea stars wandered on the walls of the palace. There were also jellyfish in the palace. In fact, the colorful jellyfish in the mermaid's room, when it was time to sleep, floats up and down, helping the mermaid to sleep. It was legendary with the garden of the palace. Colorful plants and grass fluctuating with water, covering the garden of the palace. The news is mentioned in A Danger from the Sea. Although the palace where the marine lived was 7 times below the sea, everything that could be experienced on the sea was notified to the king because there was another palace above the sea. Those living in this palace were unaware of the kingdom under the sea. If he had news, they would like to dominate under the seas. Therefore, the father of the mermaid, on the news from every event on the sea, alas! King said, "This kingdom, which I have protected so far, will now be ruined by those living on the sea." All the fish around him are alarmed. "What are we going to do now? What will we do now?" they started to say. Meanwhile, the mermaid came in. "What happened, Dad? Why is everyone in a hurry?" he asked. His father never told his daughter to the sea, so he didn't know how to explain the situation. But the mermaid was aware of what was going on. Every once in a while, he sometimes played games with the sea samurai who came to visit the palace. The sea samurai would tell him what was going on the seas. So he understood the situation in a short time. "I know everything, Dad," said Deniskisi. "Don't worry, I have a plan." The king and those around him were very surprised. "Everyone gather as much as they can gather from the plants in the garden, mermaid. We need all long, short plants." Everyone looked at the king, and the king approved what his daughter said. "Come on, everyone should gather plants immediately." A few minutes later there were a lot of plants in front of the marine. With the help of fish, the mermaid tied the plants with each other and formed a plant carpet in a short time. "Everybody hold one end of the carpet," he said. Then they swim up and stretched this carpet, which was long with the help of the fish, on the palace. The fish that draws from the 4 ends of the carpet were hidden under the carpet. From the above, the palace does not appear, only long plants, water in the water, one side of a side of this side was seen. After a while, those who lived on the sea, just above the palace. But thanks to this carpet, they could not see that there was a palace under the plants. There is nothing worth noting here, there are only plants, that's all. And they turned upwards to climb above the seas. The mermaid was very happy to have the plan worked. The king held a celebration for taking his palace again. Since then, whenever there was a danger, they would have stretched this carpet on their palaces and waited. That's why no one can imagine that he was a colorful palace under the plants.